Afterlife tricks and scams. If you don't enter the tunnel of light when your time comes, you need to be aware that these entities will present themselves to you in the form of angels, Jesus, God, saints, guides, ascended masters, guardian angels, and they're going to try to convince you that you need to go back to earth so you can pay back your karmic debt, or to continue learning, or that you have to go back with a special mission to fulfill, which is complete bullshit. But we keep falling for these scams because they tend to make sense from our narrow and pre-programmed perspectives. Well, good luck fulfilling that special mission if you can't remember what that mission was. We put blind trust in what they say to us because of constant religious indoctrination during our lives on earth, and these beings know that. Now, they can't force us to reincarnate because each soul has free will, but they can pretend to be someone they're not in order to put ideas in our heads that it's in our best interest to accept reincarnation back on earth, making it sound as if they're doing us a favor so that we can evolve, learn, or fix previous mistakes. And what they are basically doing is they're using our own free will against us. The real purpose of continuous reincarnation is soul enslavement disguised as spiritual evolution. Know that a free will decision is impossible without memory and information. Because our memories are being wiped after each lifetime, many of us live under the illusion that we are currently living our first life on this planet, and we came here to learn. Learning about life on earth and experiencing it would be useful if we didn't lose our memories after each lifetime. But it doesn't matter what we learn over here, as long as everything gets erased after each reincarnation, and we have to relearn everything from scratch over and over again in an endless loop. Earth is a prison planet camouflaged as a cosmic school. This idea of a cosmic school has been going around in order to trick souls into wanting to come and stay here in order to learn. This whole matrix is designed to drain our energy, wipe our memories over and over, and keep us trapped. Many people that went through near-death experiences even recall being accompanied by a loving angel who showed them their life review. The reason the entities show us life reviews is so that we can release certain moments from our lives in which we made certain mistakes, and by reliving those moments, feelings of guilt, shame, and remorse are being generated inside us, making us want to compensate for them. These beings then use these feelings against us, telling us things such as, you have made these mistakes, you have to go back to fix this and that. Nobody is perfect and we all make mistakes. So their emotional manipulation scam will never end if you buy into it, because being human, it's impossible to not make what we perceive to be humanly mistakes. One of the near-death experiences referenced to in this video description shows how one woman is shown not just one, but 2 fake life reviews in order to convince her to go back. New Age believers who promote calling upon your spirit guides, guardian angels, ascended masters, and religious figures for help are actually doing huge damage to themselves and to all of humanity, and they're not even aware of it. You are everything you need to succeed. You are a powerful creator being, and you don't need to give your power away to anybody. Let's pause for a second. As someone who works with my ancestors and spirit guides, I don't see them as separate from me. It's like looking at my body. I have my hands, I have my feet, I have my head, I have a neck, I have all these parts of my body. Now, while all the parts of my body are independent and have different functions, they're still a part of me. So even if my hand does a certain thing, my leg can do another. When I want to use my hands, I don't have to use my legs because they're not all joined together, but they're joined together. It's me, but they're separate, but they're not separate. This is how I also view ancestors and spirit guides. They're a part of me, they're not separate from me. I'm not talking to some weird ass daddy in the sky or something like that. I'm actually communicating with parts of myself that I might not have access to in certain states of mind. Yeah. So parts of myself that know certain things that I might not be aware of in certain states of mind. So let's say I ask my ancestors to guide me. It's like saying, okay, my hand should guide me in doing something. I am still the one controlling that hand. You could just leave your hands like that and just, use them as is. But if you want stronger arms to be able to carry heavy stuff, you need to train your hand. So when you lift something, if you have not trained your hands will not remember that you can do that thing because there's no memory of that, so you can lift that thing up. But if you've trained your arms have the memory of its training and the building, and it will be able to lift it up. So if you're talking to your higher self, you're talking to a part of you that is probably advanced in certain things that in this lifetime you probably have no memory of. It's like calling back all those versions of yourself that know more, that know better, So it's not calling some external forces outside. No, it's parts of you. How they're using your religious beliefs against you. Religion has programmed you to believe that at the moment of your death, a spiritual judgment type of scenario will take place, the biblical judgment, and it will be expected of you to give your authority away to these beings, gods, angels, guides, whatever it is you're into, letting them decide your fate so that when your time actually does come, you won't even question these beings and what they are doing with you. Instead, you will simply accept whatever they ask of you. Everything will seem to be going as planned, since that's what religion programmed you to believe will happen when your physical life will end. These entities take advantage of the fact that you have been continuously conditioned to believe in an afterlife savior who will take you to the heavens if you're a good boy. Even if you're an atheist, when you see this God or Jesus figure right there in front of you in the astral, you may start to have second thoughts about what you thought about religion back on earth. And you'll most likely end up accepting what these entities want you to do. Because your perception of reality can change in an instant and in a shocking and surprising scenario like that. Let's factor in how religion is being promoted all the time. Whether you're an atheist or you're religious, religion has been sold to you. Religion is consistently promoted in society. So even if you're an atheist, you keep seeing it, you're not buying it, but you're exposed to it. So in the astral, it comes to you and then you're like overwhelmed. Oh shit, that God was real. Yeah. Religion has also given you the sense of being a guilty sinner who has to worship, obey, and pray to a certain God, depending on your religion, in the hopes of afterlife salvation. The real salvation is not coming from the parasitic entities who pretend to be our creators. It is coming from ourselves. In order for this to happen, we have to become aware of what actually awaits us when we die, so we can use our free will to put an end to this vicious reincarnation cycle. The real powerful infinite creator God, who has nothing to do with any religious movement, is already within you. You are source energy. We are the saviors we have been waiting for, and we don't need to give our power away to anybody. Think about this. If you're born somewhere in Europe, North America, South America, for example, then the main religions of those areas tell you that God put you on this earth to live your life, and at the end of that life, there will be judgment. God will then decide whether you will go to heaven or hell for eternity. But what if you are born in other areas of the world, such as the Middle East or India, or any country region in which the main religion is either Buddhism, Hinduism, or Jainism? These religions teach that after death there is reincarnation, no heaven, no hell. So why is it that the place we are born in on this planet dictates a certain belief in something so important, such as our existence beyond physical life? Is random luck really going to dictate what's going to happen to each one of us at the moment of our death? Will each one of us have a different afterlife fate just because we're born in different places around the world? Is it all part of a game of deception? But the more you expand your awareness, the easier you can see through the lies and deceit of the social and religious programming that we've been through one way or another. Why is Source Energy, the creator of this universe, allowing all this to happen? Each being in this universe, whether malevolent or benevolent, has free will. Ask yourself, why are we humans allowed to enslave the animals here on Earth? Why are we allowed to slaughter more than 3 billion animals on a daily basis? Why are we allowed to keep animals locked up in farms and cages until the day they die? Why are we allowed to be so cruel to the other forms of life? Why? Because we, just like these entities do, have free will. From our perspective, we do these things because we need something from them, which is energy in the form of physical food. We think we're entitled to do what we do because we are superior to them and because we need to survive. We perceive these things to be normal and part of life. From the perspective of the animals, however, if they were aware of it, we will be their reptilians since we operate just like them. But we never see ourselves that way. We don't think we're the bad guys because all we do is to try to survive. Ergo, the entities don't see themselves as the bad guys either, since they are also trying to survive. What we do to the animals is almost exactly what these beings do to us, and they need to keep us imprisoned here to feed off of us. Just like farmers keep their cattle locked up in farms and stables to get what they need from them.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me.